This is Cramer's rule. It is spelled with a C. He's a Swiss mathematician. I really want to spell it with a K, so you can probably see there's usually a line in front as I try to spell it with a K. Thanks, Seinfeld. Using Cramer's rule, start out with the three equations that we had. So we had A plus B plus C equals 0. Again, I'm assuming that you saw the first one at least so you understand what A, B, and C are. Then I have negative 9A plus 4B equals negative 38. And then I have 4b minus 9c equals negative 47. It's the same equations I had before, just written slightly differently. If you saw math technique number 2 video already, then you saw me get those three equations there. To solve for a, using Cramer's rule, I start out with a fraction. My denominator are just the coefficients of my a, b, and c. These need to be lined up, my a's together, b's together, and c's together. So I have 1, 1, 1. Those are my coefficients there. Then I have negative 9, 4, 0, since I don't have a c value. Then I have 0, 4, negative 9. That is my denominator. My numerator depends upon which variable I'm trying to find. Since I have a as the first variable, I'm going to change my first column. So what I put in my first column are these numbers out here, the ones I haven't used yet. 0, negative 38, negative 47. My other two columns are the exact same as they were before. And so I have two 3x3 determinants that I'm solving. So these are determinants. And so just rewriting, so 0, negative 38, negative 47, 1, 4, 4, and then 1, negative 9, 0, 1, 4, 4. Recognize there are so many places in which to lose a minus sign somewhere. So occasionally just stopping to double check, make sure all the minus signs are in the right place. Generally a good thing. And that's what I'm doing right now. So negative, negative, negative there, negative, negative. All right. That's 0 plus 0. And then 38 times 4 is 152, and it's negative 152. Minus, going in this direction, 47 times 4, 188, and it's negative 188. 0, and then 38 9 times 342, and the two negatives, so plus 342, divided by that, which is negative 36 plus 0 minus 36 minus, going the other way, 0, 0, and then 81. And so I have negative 152 minus 154 divided by, that's a 0 there, negative 72 minus 81. So I have negative 306 divided by negative 153, which is 2, which is the value that we had before. And please see the end of the first technique video for this, for the proper display. Now to solve for b, let's set that up. The nice thing about Cramer's rule is that the denominator is the same for all three of them, and we already solved the denominator, negative 153, so easily done. Since b is the second variable, I'm going to replace the second column here. The first and third column stay the same as the denominator. So I have 1, negative 9, 0, and 1, 0, negative 9. And then my middle column is the one that gets replaced because I'm solving for the second variable. And so this becomes 0, negative 38, negative 47. And then for c, my denominator, still the same. And my numerator, since c is my third variable here, I'm going to change the third column. First two columns stay the same. So this is 1, negative 9, 0, 1, 4, 4. Those two columns right there. And the third column gets changed to 0, negative 38, negative 47. Solving it, I'm going to write the first two columns over again for this one. I'm not doing it for this one just so you can see a slightly different way of doing it. 0, negative 38, negative 47. And so we end up with, let's go for that stunning visual effect here, with negative. So I get 342. Plus 0, plus two negatives there, so plus 423, minus, and then 0, 0, and 0. This becomes 765. 765 over negative 153. So 765, 153 divided by, and lo and behold, we end up with -5. Hey, that's what we had before. And again, properly, we don't have units in here. This is just the math technique. And then over here, doing it slightly differently, I'm multiplying this diagonal right here, 188 plus, and then I multiply those three right there, sort of I'm picturing it wrapped around. So I get to here, I go to that corner, 0, and then that plus 0 minus that diagonal, 0, that diagonal, 152, and I got only one negative sign, so minus 152, and then that diagonal, and I have two negatives, so positive 423. So this is 188 minus 271. So we get negative. There's a mistake somewhere. That is a negative 188. So I have negative 459 over negative 153. And we get 3 as we'd expect. It was helpful that I knew the answer ahead of time, which is why I was able to pick out the mistake. But that was just a demonstration, not on purpose, but we'll capitalize on it anyway, a demonstration of how it's so easy to make a careless error here.